Yeah, I was wondering what the background was.
Yeah. It's here.
On your mark, get set. Let's go.
I can't do it. We'll do it live. Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Mister, will you please wake up?
Montana looking, throwing in the end zone. Caught it! Right.
Palmero over the head of Jenks. Uribe charges, throws, out! And the White Sox have won the World Series.
And that'll do it. It's over. The Golden State Warriors return to a familiar place. They're on top of the NBA world.
We're down to 2, now to 1. Here's Jordan. Yes! It is all over. The Chicago Bulls.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Hey, this promises to be fun.
Oh, yeah!
And it is a fantastic Friday edition of Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. I am one half of that, Cole Johnson. The other half, that is not Brian Snow that you're seeing. You're seeing the following. Now batting, the man who has Cypress Hill's back, number 420, Wise El Jefe. Number 420.
Thank you very much.
YSL Hefe joins us as he does every Thursday and Friday and sometimes other days during the week.
Yeah.
How was your night and early morning thus far?
Very well. My fantasy football season is starting off very well.
Yeah, well, you talk about that in the green room portion. All right. Let's see. Let's go to the Monkey Night Fight chat real quick. Chris Dietz. The man who holds down Fifth Down Sports Show says, good morning, gentlemen in chat. Good morning to you, sir.
Morning, Deets.
Sig to the Diggy says, I'm back on time after a while and thankfully insured for the madness later on. Good morning, folks. Well, I hope so. And he also sends a, way to go, Hefe!
Yeah, I love Sig, man.
I love Sig, too. He says,
Sig is the man. He comes now that I'm doing my show live, he's always coming through, sharing the love, man. I appreciate it, man. Thank you, Sig.
Yeah. And now that you mention it, look, I gotta thank the chat. You all came through and showed me much love on yesterday's Cole Sports episode. I love that. I love that feeling because it felt similar to how this feels. It's like, man, this is kind of cool. I'm chatting with bros, so it was cool to see Sig and Vic and a Pizzle, and of course Snowman showed up, and it was cool to see all the old people, all the old fellas rep, and it was wonderful to see that. Morning to you, Vic. Thank you, sir. It says morning to you too, Wise. And Deeds has this question. He says, can I start with an honest question from the presentation last night? Please do.
Go ahead.
Please do. What I can tell you, though, is on top of mind for me was that shellacking that the Bills put on the Rams to the tune of 31-10. And, well, we'll talk about that a little later. The question that Dietz has is the following. What was the Black National Anthem? What was the Black National Anthem they played last night for the USA National Anthem? And when did that become a thing, and what does it represent? Okay. So, back around the time the George Floyd thing happened, which of course was the late spring of 2020.
Yeah.
The NFL decided that every first week of the season, they would actually play Lift Every Voice and Sing before they played a national anthem. It's basically the NFL's way of saying, we rep the peeps. And of course, that has not been all that embraced, but they made this decision in 2020. It stuck last year, and it looks like they're rolling and continuing with it now. So it became a thing in 2020. I'm sorry. It's supposed to represent unity. It's supposed to represent the NFL saying to the players who are 70% Black that yes, your voice is heard. We hear you, and we feel you. We feel your pain in the best way they possibly can. I'm not saying that it's a perfect scenario, but that's basically their way of trying to reach out to the players and say, the shield represents all. I don't know how good that is, but that's just how it rolls. BGS, morning to you, my man. He says ring fatigue. I totally understand that. Yeah, let us continue with that. Actually, I agree with you. I think BGS. It looked as though the Rams were shell-shocked and the Bills were the hungrier team. That's what it looked like last night to me.
Oh, the Bills are the hungrier team. Listen, the Bills went out. They've improved, and they were one of the best teams last year. So to go out, get Von Miller, that which they needed for that defense, because we saw what happened in the last game against KC.
Yeah, Mahomes shredded them. Yeah.
So they got Von Miller. They've even though they lost their offensive coordinator, who is now the head coach of my New York Football Giants.
Correct, Mr. Brian Davis.
They still didn't miss a beat, man. First drive, my man Josh Allen just laid the bomb on them. And so he went 10 for 10 starting out. It's just showing you, man, the Bills are putting people on notice right now.
Let's touch on that for a second. The first drive of the first half, it was a Josh Allen show.
Yes.
The first drive of the second half of the Bills, it was the offensive line show. And I have to actually admit this. Now, defensively, I thought they answered what they needed to answer, because the only thing they liked defensively was pass rusher, and now they got that with Von Miller, obviously. And because all three levels they were stacked, and they actually were a really good team.
Yeah.
The only type of team that could beat them is an offensive line and that can withstand whatever pressure that they were going to give them, and a quarterback that can shred and find the holes in the defense, because the defense can't hold past 5 seconds. So, somebody's going to bound to be open, and that's the type of offense the Chiefs had last year. And they beat a team like the Bills, who are solid all throughout 11 positions, but not solid enough because they didn't have a pass rusher. Offensively, sometimes I liked that offensive line, sometimes I did not last year. And the reason why I say that is I think they still call number 17's number too much to run.
Yes.
Although Josh Allen ran it 10 times, which that's probably the most I like to see a quarterback run. But to me, the Achilles heel on offense is now turning into the Achilles heel for the whole team for this year for me. And that is, if the Bills don't find a hoss that could carry the rock at least 15 to 20 times behind Josh Allen, the Bills will now make a Super Bowl trip.
Because it's going to work, because it's going to wear Josh Allen down.
Right.
Exactly. I agree with you. Singletary needs to step up. They drafted Cook. Somebody needs to step up to improve with this running game and help Josh Allen, because he can't do it all.
No.
He might look like he can do it all.
He looks like he can.
But as the season wears on, he's gonna break down if he has to carry the load like that.
Yeah.
But I think they send a statement. They let other people know.
Oh yeah.
We here.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. They sent the statement. And that statement is, you got to have to deal with us. I don't care what team it is. You saw what we did to the defending champs in their own crib. And I'm telling you, man. 31-10, and the game wasn't that close. I mean, the only big time performer for the Rams was Cooper Kupp. It's just crazy to think that the Bills just basically had their way with that Rams offensive line. 7 sacks. 7. I'm like, oh God, Stafford doesn't even have time to breathe. And man, what makes me impressed about the Bills is that I tried to see if they rushed 5. Most of the time they didn't. They showed it, but they rushed with 4 and got that pressure on them. I'm like, oh my gosh. If they can get pressure like that with only rushing 4, you know how much trouble it's going to make any team that faces the Bills? Oh my gosh. Wow. All right.
But Dietz, you're right. Dietz made a great comment. Absolutely. So this week, game 1, yes, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
Mr.
But
Dietz.
a statement was made, Dietz. A
Yes,
statement was made.
A statement was made. But you do bring up a good point, Mr. Dietz, because I have a special prisoner of the moment take. So along those lines, Dietz, I actually peruse social media. And in the perusal of said social media, I found someone who opined after that game last night, quote, "So the Rams are soft and Stafford is booty. He's trash." Close quote. Now, I'm with you, Deeds. It's only one game. And you root for a team in Deeds who, let me see, 29 years ago, who started 0-2 and won a Super Bowl. So I understand that, yes, this is only one game. And they got 16 more to go. And they probably won't look this bad against other competition. And the Bills might not look this good the rest of the year. We don't know that yet. That is probably, to me, what the rest of the month is going to have to show forth. But takes like that, where these armchair quarterback takes of, well, the Rams suck. I'm like, they're human beings. They're going to have a low. It's unfortunate. I mean, when they won the Super Bowl last year, did they go undefeated? Correct me if I'm wrong, they did not. So they had a couple of bad games last year. They're bound to have some this year.
Yeah.
It just so happens that this was one of those marquee games where I think they had it marked that they wanted to make a statement. And I know the Bills marked it and saying they wanted to make a statement because remember the last time they played on the field.
They were left a very sour taste in their mouth.
Yeah, right. We're talking 8 months ago where they thought they had victory not once but twice.
And was snatched
against the Chiefs. And it was snatched both times. And then they did not get a chance to offensively counter the touchdown that the Chiefs scored in overtime. Now, if that same game was played this year in the playoffs, they would. But you leave a sour taste in your mouth when you go toe-to-toe with a powerhouse like the Chiefs, and you're in their crib, and you give them 2 knockdown blows that should be knockout blows, but the Chiefs come off the canvas and knock you down before they knock you out. So, the Bills were frothing at the mouth. And like, man, we want to prove that how we were, especially defensively, we want to prove how we were in Kansas City is not how we are now.
Yeah.
So believe me, statements were made, but I believe people have to get past the statements that you make permeate throughout all the season. Well, no, not quite. No. But you got to have a starting point somewhere. So this was the starting point for the Bills. Impressive victory. And I don't care who you are, the Rams are still contenders for the NFC. Not just the NFC West. They're contenders with the NFC crown.
The AFC to
they
me
will bounce back.
Has the roughest road to the Super Bowl.
Oh,
the
gosh,
AFC itself.
It's not even a question.
So the Rams could take this loss. The Rams could take this loss and still come out on top of the NFC. To me, it's the weaker division.
Yeah,
there's a much more rougher path for the Bills to go through. You have just alone in the AFC West, where you have the Chiefs and San Diego.
Right.
I'm not even adding the other two because I'm a little suspect on the other two teams.
I am too.
But with San Diego and the Chiefs, then you still have Indianapolis with that beast of a running back. You have to give the coach and with
adding and a solid defense,
and adding Matt Ryan over Carson Wentz.
Oh, yes, an upgrade.
Is 100% better.
Yeah, it's an upgrade. Better. There's no question that's an upgrade.
Yeah, you have, of course, who else you have? You have all these. You have Pittsburgh.
The Steelers.
They're always
they're all right.
But they don't. When was the last time Tomlinson had a losing season? You have to always count them in.
Yeah, he's never had.
Exactly.
The first one will be his first. Yeah.
Yes.
So you have the Bengals that want to prove that their AFC championship year wasn't a fluke, and you have the Ravens who want to prove that their swoon after starting strong last year wasn't a fluke too. So you got those two in the AFC North, and you got the Browns who want to prove that, their swoon last year wasn't a fluke, but I think they will struggle mightily. Yeah, the AFC is rugged, and they might beat each other down to nothing. They just might. But the Bills prove to me that they are a team to be reckoned with, and take them at your peril. You will see what you do if you do take them for granted.
Yeah.
To the chat real quick. Good morning to you. I'm listening. I'm glad that you are here, sir.
Good morning. I'm listening.
Glad that you are here. Deed says, look, everyone needs to understand this is one game of week one. The Rams aren't as bad as they were last night. The Bills weren't as good as they were. No one lost or won the Super Bowl last night. Exactly. And that's really, I think, what we're saying. Yeah, the Super Bowl wasn't won or lost last night, but a statement was made. I'm sorry. If you're not going to claim a statement was made by having a Bills defensive front be in charge of having 7 sacks on a pretty good offense in the Rams, I don't know what you're looking at. 6 says, Cole, could it be said that the Rams were like Buster Douglas after knocking out Mike Tyson? Yeah, they could have been like that. They were, to make the parallel. Yeah, it could be like the Buster Douglas Holyfield fight. That's a good question. BGS says, it reminds me of ring night in the NBA. Opening night is now starting to remind me of that type of feel for me too now. Whenever I see defending champs play their opening game at home, it sort of has that feel now, where it's like, okay, the defending champs, they may take the opponent seriously, they may not. They may just be in the glow of how things were last year, and they may reminisce and get caught reminiscing. And they're playing a team that really wants to have what they got. Yeah, I can see that. Victor says, already? We have our first NFL prisoner in the moment? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And we've only gotten through one game of week one, and we have our first NFL prisoner in the moment.
Yes. We still got this weekend to go.
Mm-hmm. Oh, my. Yeah, Sick asked the question to BJS. You mean Mounds to the Pouch on 4? He says, no. Champs often bomb first game back after winning a championship. Yeah, because they're still all aglow and they're reminiscing, and they aren't as hungry as they were when they got that ring. And especially now, when you have a highlight game, they're going to make sure NBC is going to make sure they're going to put a quality opponent in front of that champion, that defending champion. So you have the Bills, who are motivated by getting a taste out of their mouth that was nasty back in January, and they're going against the defending champs. Oh yeah. You knew the Rams had to be at their best, and they most certainly were not. D says, if you're just learning the Bills are good, you haven't been paying attention. They're the Vegas favorite to win the Super Bowl. Oh, I know.
Oh,
I know they
the
are.
Bills been good, yeah.
Oh, I know they are. And I know they're good, and I know they are the favorite. And they prove why they would be. I still, like I said, I still have the jury out on that offense, on that running game for them. But yeah, BGS, Stafford's holding on the ball too long, and some of those sacks, yes, some of those other sacks though, that offensive line were like matadors. It was like Olay. Some of them, it's like, man, Stafford wasn't even in the pocket about 3 seconds, and he was down on the turf. Oh, man. D says Stafford has always held the ball on too long, which he has. I mean, part of why he did not have the success in Detroit was because of that. It's part of the game that makes sense.
Detroit.
Yeah, and it ushered his way out. Yeah. In part, it's part of his game that makes him able to find targets after the play breaks down. Yeah, and that's, for example, the very last drive of the Super Bowl. That's exactly what happened. He extended plays because he wanted extended plays to get Cooper Kupp free, and if he didn't, he would have been sacked a couple of those plays. Holding on that ball longer than you probably would like for him to hold the ball on to, extended that drive, and scored a touchdown 1 minute to go the game. A Pizzle, what's up, brother? He says the Super Bowl hangover is real. You are never lying, and I think that's what the Rams suffered from. BGS says to Deeds, he needs his receivers to break open. Those are cover sacks. Point right here. Now you can tell this man is seasoned. What is going to make the Rams falter is the fact that you have Stafford looking at Cooper Kupp, and he's going to say, all right, so it's Cooper Kupp and
Yeah.
He can't rely on anybody else to break
open.
open.
OBJ now. There's no OBJ.
Yeah. And that
added. Who did they add? They
added Allen Robinson.
Yes.
The wide receiver from
Chicago.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So, and they don't have Robert Woods, because remember he left and was great. Yeah. And that's important because he and Kupp had really good chemistry together when they were on the field. So you now have Stafford, who he knows he could trust Kupp, but the defense knows that's where you're going to go. So
they couldn't stop him because Cooper Kupp had a hell of a game.
Oh yeah, you can't stop it because Kupp is one of the best route runners in the game. Yeah. And if you say otherwise, you're lying. He's one of the best route runners in the game. He knows how to get open
to do it. So they couldn't hold him, but
no.
They like, all right, we're gonna let Cooper Kupp do what he does because you can't stop him. But we're gonna shut everybody else down.
That's exactly what happened.
Because Cooper Kupp went crazy. He had 100-something yards. He had over 10 receptions. Listen, he's the man. Let's put that out there. He is one. He is one of the top 3 receivers in my book.
At worst. 13 receptions, 128 yards. I mean, you climbed in my head, man. That's exactly what happened. The Bills defense, especially the Bills secondary, said, okay, we'll let Kupp have his. Nobody else is going to eat.
Yeah. That's what happened.
And if they try to have somebody else eat, you saw what happened. Stafford threw 3 picks. So there you go. So that's the problem to me. And if you're going to hold on the ball too long, you're either going to have sacks or you're going to have fumble or sack fumble.
And that was the question. That was the big question mark for the Bills besides the running game was the secondary.
Yeah.
And
And the secondary last year was starting to get better. But of course, there was new holes that were just developed and discovered when you have a quarterback, the talent of Patrick Mahomes, that could shred them. Yeah. If you don't get pressure on him, Mahomes will shred a defense. I don't care how good that defense is. To BGS's point, many of those were cover sacks because that secondary is really good. But some of it you have to, that offensive line. Whew. Yeah. I'll say this to Rams fan. You will be missing Whitworth. You'll be missing that presence because his retirement is going to leave a gaping hole for that offensive line to fill. Oh my gosh. Victor says, I dread this Sunday after our first Cowboys game. I hope my boys will as well as I always do, but Lord, how many prisoners of the moment we'll see if the Cowboys win? Vic, if the Cowboys beat the Bucks, I don't care if this is at their crib, at their own house, at Jerry's World. If the Cowboys beat the Bucks, you know you're going to hear Cowboys fans say, the Super Bowl is ours. We beat the greatest of all time. Yes, we're going to see a Super Bowl in February. You know you're going to hear Cowboys fans say this. Oh, and
listen, this is okay. I got nothing but respect for Tom Brady, but
same.
The Bucks are not
same.
First of all, you lose the Bucks. They lose 2 of their best offensive linemen.
Yeah,
and these 2 offensive linemen is your center and your guard.
Yes,
where Tom Brady's actually vulnerable at. If you go up the middle and you go after Brady, you're going to get him.
Exactly.
That's where you get Brady, is the pressure up the middle. So when you lose your center and your guard, and you have to put in replacements, if Dallas can put that pressure up the middle, y'all can win the game.
That's
and plus with the fact that Giselle's not happy that Tom came back for the season, y'all might have an advantage.
That's why he left camp for almost 2 weeks.
Oh yeah, he had to baby, please, sorry, I'm sorry, I'll come back. Promise.
Yeah, I'll come back. I promise it. Probably said I promise this will be the last year to do this. But please, baby, please don't leave. Don't leave. You know you make more than me. Please don't. I know I'm the man in that fair, but you're the man in the house, baby. Come on, no, yeah, you know that was.
Please, baby, please.
Vic said, "Ole!" Yeah, that was the offensive line of the Rams last night, man. It's unfortunate. Deet says, "Same amount of victory if the Cowboys lose to Tom Brady." Well, yeah, you'll see some Cowboys fans. I love this reference. You'll see some Cowboys fans probably swing from shower rods. Yes, I agree. but I think most of you will still be optimistic. Playmaker, good morning, brother. And look, let me apologize to you about the performance of your team.
But why do you got to apologize? The team should be calling playmaker and apologize.
I have to apologize to him because I know you expected a much better performance out of the defending world champs, and they laid a golden egg on national TV. So yeah, if the Rams won't do it, I will. I humbly apologize that your team in blue and yellow did not come through last night. Because you have a team that was hungry and wanted to prove that what they were in January is not how they are in September. But yeah, I feel your pain though, bro. Andrew, good morning, sir.
Good morning, Andrew.
Vic says, yeah, that's what frightens me, talking about the Cowboy fans gloating, saying that they beat Brady the best ever, which that's not what I believe, but still, that's a horse of a different color. And he also says they're also minus Antonio Brown. In fact, that's a plus. I'm sorry. I know Antonio Brown has some skills at wide receiver, but he is, how can I put this? He is a chemistry drain. And Chris Godwin is the bigger miss, but he's now playing. He was the bigger miss for Brady than Brown was. And of course, you don't know Chris Godwin, oh God, it was a horrible injury that he suffered. It was a Sunday night game at home against the Saints where he tore his ACL. That was a nasty, nasty tear. And Brady was not the same, and nor was that offense. And now that they have him back, I think Brady will be better. But I agree with you, though, Wise, that the offensive line,
it's suspect.
Two fits of what makes that offensive line good is gone. And and they are suspect. They are suspect. 6 says a lot of that was in Brazilian Portuguese too.
Yeah, I'm sure it was.
I'm sure it was. Fit Down Sports Show or Chris Deed says you're going to hear from every team that wins this weekend. Well, of course. I expect that. I fully expect that. I fully expect 16 fan bases. Well, 15 more now because Bills Mafia is going crazy now. Yes, I expect 15 other fan bases saying 1-0 leading to a championship. I expect that. Look, last year. So for those of you who don't know, at my 9 to 5, my manager is a Steelers fan. And she's such an ardent Steelers fan. She has a Christmas tree that is yellow and black and white. That's how ardent of a Steelers fan she is. She has a black and yellow boa. Huge Steelers fan. So they went to Buffalo last year and they won. And the very next day when we convened, my boss says to me, "Stairway to 7, baby." I'm like, oh Lord have mercy. It was 16-13. It wasn't as if that offense proved that they were the greatest show on turf. It was the special teams that got you the win. And come on, that team was horrible. But she said, but they want to know. They have a chance. So yes, I expect 15 other fan bases to be just like that.
That's like me celebrating if the Giants win this weekend. Like I'm a realist. It's the first game. It's still 16 games after that, and they can have a complete collapse. It's listen. This is what the season is played for. We'll see at the end of the year who's standing.
Yeah. Oh, Mr. McCarthy, I love this. And, well, good morning to you, firstly, sir.
Good morning, Ryan.
And if you
coffee,
and if you want to know what this brother's about, check out his show, No Credentials Required, and check him out here. He appears every Monday, 8:35 a.m. and wonderful insight with great humor. How can you not like that? So he says, good morning, gentlemen, and good morning to everyone watching and listening. He says, better get Jalen Ramsey some aloe because he got burned a lot last night. I saw this stat where he is allowed I forgot how long the touchdown was. I think it's longer than 20 yards. He's allowed a touchdown deep the 4 out of the last 6 games he's played. Before then, he did not allow a touchdown that deep to in 65 previous games. Jalen Ramsey getting toasted last night. I know there's bad days in the office, but I'm thinking that teams probably have figured him out, and it almost seems reminiscent to when you saw the end of the LOB era, where teams did not want to test out Richard Sherman, but then at the end of his time with the Seahawks, they started to test him and they started to succeed against him. And then when he went to San Francisco, more teams tested him. And then he became basically the Achilles heel of the 49ers defense when they went to the Super Bowl. I'm seeing similarities of that. I'm not saying that Ramsey's game is cooked. No. But I'm saying that the aura of invincibility that Ramsey had is no longer there.
Listen, he got torched yesterday. There was no doubt about that, man.
Stephon Diggs did a number on him. Oh my gosh. And did a number in different ways.
He treated him like his steps.
He did a number on him in different ways. It wasn't like, okay, he beat him deep, which he did, or he beat him to a spot because he put a good late move on him and shook him, which he did that too. He varied the beating. I'm like, oh wow. I'm like, Diggs took this personal. And I'm glad he took it personal because he just like Kupp, he's one of the best receivers in the league, and people do not talk about him enough.
He doesn't get enough respect for what he does. No,
that dude has great hands. That dude knows how to run routes, and he's willing to get those tough catches. I all the props to Stephon Diggs in the world, and I say I have the same amount of respect for him as I do for Cooper Kupp. I love seeing those two perform the trade and perform the task of wide receiver because they know how to do every aspect of the position. Shady Sports Network, Sam, he says, good morning, Chad. Good morning to you, sir. Playmaker says, no apology needed. We got our butts whooped. It's the opening game. I'm chilling. Long season. Thank you.
Good job.
Yeah. Thank you. Yes, sir. That's the exact posture I would take too. If I was Rams fan, that's exactly how I would take. Look, bad day at the office. We got 16 more of these to go. And we're still the defending champs. So is the season over yet? No? Well, heck, we still can get off of the canvas, dust ourselves off, and play better.
Yeah.
You'll see it next Sunday. We'll do it. So that's how I would look at it. But still, though, I know how when you see your team achieve that mountaintop moment, and then the first time after you see them, they disappoint, it does suck. But yeah, that's the mentality you would take. The only parallel that I have is when the Rockets won in '94. I'm not going to mention to whom or how. The very first.
Who did. We already know. You got to remind us.
The ring ceremony game in 1995. Yes, the Rockets won the game, but I looked at that team and I was like, man, they are not as hungry as they were the year before. Seeing that, and I knew that just from eye contact, I'm like, this is not the same squad as before. They don't have that same drive. They don't have that same hunger. They don't have that same look in their eye. They don't have that same mentality of there isn't a team on this planet that can beat us. And you can see it.
And there's certain players that even though when they win, that they still have that fire.
Right.
That's why Jordan was so great, because even regardless of all the championships he was winning, he was still wanting more.
Yeah.
Kobe was the same way.
And that aspect is glossed over, hard glossed over. That that there is this moment of I made it. In fact, Shaq talked about it after he won his first ring in 2000. When he talked with Kobe, he said, "Man, after I got that first ring, I relaxed because I knew I had you on the team." And of course, Kobe, being the dog that he was, cut from the call to Jordan. He was like, and that right there is what pissed me off.
Yeah, yeah.
Because one for him was not enough.
Nope. And what he's and imagine how Shaq had people would like imagine if he had that work ethic, if he had Kobe's work ethic, how the conversation of greatest of all time wouldn't be a question.
I wanted him to have that work ethic because, man, I will say this. I say this in all honesty. I liked Shaq when he was in Orlando, but I thought he was too cute because he wanted to show that he had the coast-to-coast game, that he could hustle, and that he could dribble between his legs and he could shoot threes. I'm like, yeah, all that is cool. I like that. No, I like the guy that could just break down the backboards. That's the Shaq I want to see. I want to see you be the bully. I want to see you dominate. Yeah. I want to see you just have 9 other guys on the floor say, I can't F with that. That's the Shaq I want to see. And then when he finally got that understanding in 2000, I'm like, game's over, season's over. And for the time period, for as long as he wants, the NBA is over because it's the Lakers game right now. Because Shaq is too dominant, to be messed with, and nobody has an answer for him, and nobody will have an answer for him.
Yeah. Yep.
And so I agree with you. If he had Kobe's hunger, yeah, Shaq would probably be easily in the top 5 of greatest of all time.
Yeah.
Because there was no stopping that dude. Victor said, I was going to call him a clown, but a chemistry drain is a better fit when it comes to AB. It's just the truth. I mean, it's just the truth. He's a chemistry drain. And look, I nicknamed him Antonio Clown myself, but yeah, chemistry drain. That's what I think of him.
Yeah, it's more like it's like a cancer, in the locker room. It's like
he is
because it's more about him. That's what it is. It's all about him. It's not about the team. It's like he needs that attention. And you don't need that on your team, man. It's team first always.
Yeah, gotta be. Especially with your best players, it has to be team first.
Yeah.
Because if the team, if the players that don't have as much talent as an Antonio Brown doesn't reflect team first, and they reflect me first, well, those players will be like, well, hey, it's me first with him. I guess it's gonna be me first with me too. Hence why I call him chemistry drain, because of that. Yeah. And yes, it's cancer. I agree. It's cancer locker room. I do agree with that. Deets asks, Playmaker says, who cares about the game's outcome, Playmaker? How is the food spread for the opening game? And of course, Playmaker attended the game last night. He said, nothing special, man. Just a pizza from Little Caesars. Wow. That's how they feed the press there, huh? Wow. Okay. Andrew says, NFC Beast podcast coming soon.
Hopefully. Yeah. We're working on it. I gotta talk to Sam and everybody else, see what's going on. But yeah, hopefully this week.
And that reminds me, I gotta get with Cool and talk to him about somebody I would probably want to join you guys.
Oh, for what? For the NFC East? Because we did the Playmakers stuff this past Tuesday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
which was good. It was a great, fun experience. A little bit late for me because you know me, I gotta get up early in the morning.
Of course,
but it was good, man. It was a good show.
Nice.
I think we're still looking for some more people. I think we need we now need a Giants fan. I'm not a Giants fan, a Jets fan, and I can't recall what else, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, for your NC Beast, yeah, I think I have a reporter, woman reporter who covers the Commanders, and I think she would fit in beautifully with you guys. Let me see. Vlog giving props to Mr. McQuaffie. Deed says Diggs is part of the Fantasy Football Championship roster. Yes, he is. That's why he put up the numbers last night. And well, Mr. Wise El Jefe agrees with you.
Oh yeah, he's on my. Believe me, he's on my fantasy. I have him and Josh Allen, so believe me, I am celebrating right now. Like I've played 3 players. I have one league. I have 3. I had the Rams defense, and then Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs. And in that league, I'm up 105 points already. So
nice. Wow. Now that's nice. That is nice. 6 says, the first game isn't always the best indication of anything. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. Exactly.
And that's what she says. Yes.
Oh, I'm glad your jalapeno pepper gets it that way for you. Wise, I like that. Playmaker says it's the same with my Florida Gators. Yeah, we upset number 7 seeded Utah, but it's the first game under the new regime. I'm chilling, and it's a long season, and they play in the SEC.
Yes. So, yeah. Let's not forget that part. They're still Alabama and Georgia in that.
Yeah, I was about to say they go to Tuscaloosa this year, right?
I think so.
Oh, yeah.
I think so.
I know they play Georgia every year, but wow. Okay, yeah. Ooh, yeah, it's gonna be rough. Vlog says, be careful, Wise. Saying those names without mentioning the man on Wednesday is going to upset our favorite group of people. Deet says the big game for the Gators is this weekend. Well, we'll see. We'll see how things go with them. 6 says, Wise, that competitive drive is what motivates the greats. This one-I'm-done mentality kills a lot of careers. Ooh, you dropped the mic there, Sick. You dropped the mic there, bro. Because you're right on that one. You're right on time with that. Playmaker says the pressure is on the Gators going from unranked to 12th while Kentucky stayed at 20. Yeah. And Kentucky normally takes Florida as a rival, if I'm not mistaken. Meanwhile, the opposite is not true. And that could be dangerous if one team comes with not the same mentality as the other. D says, because preseason polls are only good for toilet paper. Thank you, sir. I agree. I don't pay attention to, seriously, I don't pay attention to them until November. Until the first week in November, that's when I actually start paying attention to the rankings. Before then, forget it. Forget it. Oh,
I think you might have
just a moment. Yes, I do. You're right. You're exactly right. Let me see if I have it here. Oh man, I don't see it. But I guess I'll just have to do it by voice. Joining us is my partner in crime on this fantastic Friday edition of Snowman and the Wonderful Cole Johnson, Mr. Brian Snow. What's up, Snowman?
In my truck and on the road to get some tea from a place we love to call Starbucks. And as soon as I do that, I'm going to be hopping back in the studio, and I want to tell the folks at 10:05, we're going to do some picks because Mike Debate will join us, and that will be our final segment of the week. But I will greet the fans properly, even though I'm late in doing so. Good morning. And as you put it best, my friend, welcome to the fabulous, fantastic football Friday edition of the program. Cole, Wise, y'all are doing a great job. I love you, brothers, for standing in for me while I still deal with a few stomach issues, which are in the process of getting solved. And as far as last night goes, I hate to say this, and the playmaker ain't going to like me for it, but the Rams sucked last night.
Oh, he knows that. He knew what happened.
But when you face a defense that has the potential to do that, I mean, Matthew Stafford and company got terrorized for a full 60 minutes. They got absolutely terrorized. Period.
I'll throw this at you, sir. One of the aspects that made me impressed about the Bills' drubbing of the Rams last night was, yeah, they got 7 sacks, but most of those sacks came with them rushing 4.
Yep.
Now, how impressed were you when you saw that?
The front 4 got home, which is what I thought they would do. The front, let me say this again, Rams fan, and for Sunday, Bears fan, The front four got home. Period. If the front four can get home without extra pressure, you're going to have a long night like Matthew Stafford did last night. And they forced a turnover late in the game, got down the field, couldn't complete the job. Oops.
And you know it's bad when you see your quarterback holding onto the ball and he anticipates getting hit.
Yep.
We were starting to see that in sack 3 and 4 with Stafford. I'm like, oh man. Yeah. He's anticipating getting hit. He doesn't have the trust in that offensive line. Now I will say this about a possible
what did I say about what were the two problems I said about the Rams offense when we did our NFC preview? Offensive line and their running game, or lack thereof.
And what didn't show up? Both of those. And what might be a trend and something that's scary that I will circle is that offensive line. Normally, offensive lines don't get better if they can allow that many sacks. Now, they just have to cross their fingers and hope they play against teams that don't rush like that or can get pressure with 4. But unfortunately, they're in a division where they play 2 games against a rival where they can do that.
They play two against the 49ers.
They have the line, the defensive line to put that kind of pressure.
Right.
They can rush 4 and get at you.
Yeah.
Like I said, they can rush 4 and get home.
Mm-hmm.
San Francisco for the last 3 years, even their 6-10 year in 2020, rushed 4 and they got home.
Mm-hmm.
So if I were the Rams, the Cardinals, and the Seahawks, I'd beware.
And Playmaker says that's the Von Miller effect. And I agree, it is.
It is.
It is. It is a Von Miller effect. To the point where I'm not even dealing with the 2 sacks he got. The confidence he gave the front 4 to attack the way they did. I think that to me is where the effect really was felt. Because there was a figure that's like, look, man, you could just simply put your foot down the grass, put your hand in the turf, and you can beat the man that's in front of you to get to that quarterback.
And he does that. That's the kind of, listen, like you said, that is the Von Miller effect. This is a future Hall of Famer.
Not even a question. I'll say a future first ballot Hall of Famer.
No question.
I'll say future first ballot Hall of Famer. Yeah.
2-time Super Bowl champion.
2-time champ. Mm-hmm.
2-time champ.
And it doesn't look like he's showing anything. Like people probably thought he was losing a step or two the last couple of years because he hasn't had that Von Miller type years. I think him coming to Buffalo, he has something to prove.
And that Rams defense is suffering without him. You saw it last night.
Yeah. Yeah, they are.
You saw it last night. That Rams defense is suffering.
Well, I'm kind of immune to it, but I see your head. I see your mind. I seen the comments.
What?
I seen the comments.
What? Look. There was one.
What the? Oh God. Oh God.
This comment here. Deed says the Bears are at home Sunday. The big question is, will Uncle Foot be in the house?
I'll answer that. Hell no!
Wait. Victor beat you to it and said, no, please, Chris. I'm not trying to summon Uncle Foot, the ever living today.
Nor am I.
That's why I laughed.
And the bad part is Uncle. Oh God! I can't believe I'm gonna cuss.
Screaming no.
That's why I laughed. I laughed because of that statement.
Listen, I can't believe I'm gonna cuss while I'm on the road, but Uncle Foot wants to create, God help me, an entertainment district in Arlington Heights. Well, Uncle Foot, I got a message for you. You had an entertainment district. It's called Downtown Chicago.
I'm saying in downtown. I'm saying downtown. Got it.
You had an entertainment district. It's called Downtown Chicago.
Oh my gosh.
And they need some Chris. They need some Mumra to beat San Francisco. That ain't happening. Not with that porous offensive line.
Oh,
As
Lord,
my
yeah.
granny would say best, God rest the soul of Emmeline Downs. Now, please.
Oh, Lord. Oh,
Child,
my gosh.
That porous, and I'm saying the right word, porous. Offensive line. Yeah, the Bears are excited they got Justin Fields. Who's going to protect him?
That's a good question.
I had a chance to appear on the Full Press Bears podcast last night, and I'm working hard on getting back on the Full Press broadcast network, getting our show back on Full Press. Man, look, I understand that they're Bear fans, and the first question they asked me is that what made you a 49er fan? Montana to Clark. January 10th of 82, Montana to Clark. All right. And they said, do you really think they asked me what the Bears have to do to counter that? I can give my true answer here. Pray. Because if you remember last year when they played at the spaceship, I can't even say Soldier Field. They call it it's the spaceship. When they played at the spaceship last year, the Bears led 13-3. And then the 49ers got their act together, and the defense got their act together. And the next thing you know, Justin Fields is running for his life and getting pummeled 5 times.
Yeah.
And on top of that, there's a fellow they have to contain by the name of Deebo Samuel. And quite frankly, that ain't happening. Not the way the 49ers are determined right about now, they are determined. If you'll pardon me just a second, I got to get some tea. I'll be back in a moment.
Not a problem, because actually what we're going to do is start hour number 2 of the program. This will be the last full hour, but it won't be the last hour period of this week's Snowman and Morning with Cole Johnson. It is after this.
On your mark, get set, let's go. 'Cause we take this job so serious.
All of it, between 2 people and 4 nostrils, all of it was gone.
LeBron James is pure, unadulterated trash as a basketball player and has been for 20 years.
We don't want to see.
Wait a minute. We don't want to see.
the cap, bro.
Number 420. Why is El Jefe? Number 420.
I had to do it. Oh man, I thought I missed it.
What in the all types of blue hell?
This is Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson.
Pushing along on a Friday morning, Cole Johnson, Brian Snow, getting some little tea. YSL Heavy's joining me, and also joining with us is not only the owner, the manipulator, and the operator of the BS3 Network, Ben Sutter III, but the man in charge of the Shady Sports Network, Sam Shady. Good morning, gentlemen. How are you?
Morning, gentlemen.
Good morning. Good morning. Glad to be here.
Morning, fellas.
All right, so let me get your take, both of you. We'll start with you, Sam. Let me get your take on last night's game. What did you like and what did you not like about it?
Well, I liked what you guys had to say. Buffalo's front 4 was devastating to the Rams' offensive line last night. Matt Stafford looked like he was pressured on nearly every pass without them having to blitz, which I thought was very impressive, especially because the Rams honestly have a decent offensive line, top 16, I would guess. So I thought it was very encouraging for Bills fans. I personally am not on the bandwagon yet as far as them being Super Bowl contenders, but this was a large step in the right direction.
Ben?
Yeah, I'll say this. This is not an overreaction Friday. So everyone a fan of either team, calm down. It's just week 1. I'll say that first. The second thing I'll say is if anybody thought Von Miller was done, he's not. And then also I'll say the Rams did not look up to the caliber I think we're expecting them to, especially Stafford and that offense as a whole. But I do think this means that Buffalo is definitely a team to be reckoned with this season. They were last year too. So there was I was surprised at how it went as far as how dominant the Bills were, but I'm not surprised in how Buffalo played because they've done it year after year, and I think they're about to take the next step this year.
To that point, Ben, I'm not surprised that the Bills played that solidly as well either. The one aspect though that I was, and I'm not a Bills fan, but I'm a football fan. The one aspect I was happy with was, to me, I think the one glaring weakness that the Bills had on defense was fully addressed in the correct fashion with Von Miller, not necessarily because of his pass rushing acumen, but the confidence he gave that defensive line to put that pressure on that offensive line of the Rams. And seeing that, to me, that can take the Bills to the next level. But in your calm down, it's only one game aspect and comment, 100% agree. I look at the Bills running back core because of that reason right there.
Yeah. And real quick, I'll say this. Be on the lookout for James Cook. I know he didn't do a lot in this game, but if he's anything like his brother and that Georgia running back pedigree, he's definitely going to get some more run as the season goes along.
Yeah. Yeah, just see if he can hold on to the ball.
Yeah.
That's the only issue I have with him. If he can hold on to the ball, he will get some time because, to me,
it's open. That listen, that position is open. It's open.
Yeah.
It's for whoever steps up and takes it.
Right.
If it's Singletary, if it's Cook, whoever, one of them needs to step up and show that they can carry the load. Because, like we said, Josh Allen cannot go the whole entire season rushing the ball 10 times.
Right.
Can't happen.
Can't do it.
Because he's going to get beat up.
And throwing the ball 40 times. That's
right. No, can't do it. Yeah, because you'll put him at risk at least 50 times in a game. No, no. Mm-mm. No, you need to take that pressure off of him. In order for that team to be a Super Bowl contender, that pressure needs to get off of him. Well, since I got 3 people who comprise of the NFC East/Beast, Wise, of course, is the Giants representative. Ben, of course, the Cowboys representative. And, of course, same shady is Mr. Fly Eagles Fly all day. Let's touch on these games, shall we? I'll start with you, Sam. New kickoff in Detroit, or Detroit, whichever way you like to pronounce it. That is where the Eagles will be. What would you like to see your Eagles do to make you feel as though they're on the right track to be the NFC East champs?
So the first thing I want to see out of Jalen Hurts is an improvement in his accuracy. His ball placement needs to be a lot more on point this season. I know we went out and got A.J. Brown to kind of help him with, help hide his accuracy issues, so to speak. But I would like to see some dramatic improvements from him as a quarterback.
Yeah, I think that's where it has to be. And I'll actually say a similar thing with him with the Eagles as with the Bills when it comes to Allen. I really do not want Hurts to run the ball so much because I think in this case with Josh Allen, he is just so cold behind the pocket and he could devastate teams in the pocket. With Jalen Hurts, I think if he were to run the ball so much, he has the ability to stunt the growth of the Eagles offense if he were to do that. And if he can trust the talent that's around him, that accuracy, I think, will be able to be improved upon if he's willing to trust his players. Of course, you got A.J. Brown to throw to amongst the receivers that he has. So I think that's what I need to see. What say you?
100%. I definitely agree with how you stated that. It was very eloquently put that he can stunt the offensive growth if they lean too much on him running the ball like they did last year.
Yeah.
I would, I would love to see another second coming of Dante Culpepper or,
Good choice.
Randall Cunningham out there. But at the same time, I want to see the team succeed, and what's best for the
Right.
team is Jalen Hurts improving as a passer, not necessarily just as a runner, like you put. So definitely
Right.
100% agree. And I'm also very interested to see our safety position. I'm a huge fan of Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. I think that was a
Good
very,
pickup.
very big move.
Good pickup. Good pickup. Yes, I agree with you. That was a solid pickup for them because that was one of the places I thought they needed to seal up. They did it with him, and they did in the draft too, but they definitely did it with him. And I'll just say this now: Jordan Davis is a beast. I feel for offense. I feel for interior offensive linemen with him. He's going to abuse many interior offensive linemen. That man is a beast. He's a man-child. Goodness gracious. Okay. I will now turn to you, Ben. The Cowboys play at home at Jerry World. It is the marquee game Sunday night. They host the Bucs. What would you like to see the Cowboys do to make you feel as though they are on the right track to be the NFC East champs?
So definitely, I want to see a couple things. Number one, I want to see that running game be dominant. When we were most successful, the running game was dominant, and it was opening up the opportunities, obviously, for Dak. So that's number one. Number two, what's really kind of piggybacking off that is the offensive line. We don't have Tyron Smith, as everybody knows that. You do have a young offensive lineman with Tyler Smith that's going to be playing. Jason Peters, I don't believe, is going to be available this week.
Right.
So that offensive line, are we going to be able to hold up to the defensive push? Tom Bowles is going to come up with all types of stunts and all types of stuff to throw us off.
Yep.
Arguably one of the best defensive coordinators or defensive minds in the game.
No question.
And then the other thing I'm looking at is, can the defense duplicate what they did last year? Because it's very difficult to get turnovers at that clip every single game. They had turnovers every single game. And so those are some things that I'm looking at. So definitely running game, offensive line play, and if that defense can duplicate or even what they did, from last year, then I think we definitely can move forward. And I think we got to get a dub. We got to get a dub. That's my. If we can do that, then I think we're going in the right direction.
So you say you must get a dub. I agree. I mean, you're at home. I think the Cowboys need to treat this as a game that they circle and say it's a must win. Almost as important as playing a divisional rival. I do agree with you there. I will say I also agree with all your takes as well, Ben. It starts with an offensive line and with the philosophy of we're going to run the ball at least 35 times in the game. I want to see the Cowboys embrace that because they got a quarterback in Dak Prescott where his best asset is play action. So if you run very little, how can you respect the play action? And if you don't do play action with Dak, how can you have him play at the most optimal level at quarterback? So to me, I think that's where it starts. And when they don't do it, that's where it ends. And what sucks about that is you got a stud and a half in Micah Parsons. I mean, this
listen, it's not just Parsons. Diggs is up
there. I'm gonna get the Diggs. I'm gonna get the Diggs. Stud and a half in Micah Parsons, where he play. It's like he plays linebacker like Polamalu. Tori Polamalu played safety. It's like you don't know where he's going to line up. You don't know if he's going to drop back. You don't know if he's going to attack the hole up the middle. You know if he's going to rush the edge. You don't know what this guy's going to do. And you have that wild card like that. It gets wasted when the Cowboys want to drop back and throw it 50 times. And then, yes, when you have a growing secondary member, because sometimes I really do not call him corner. I think he'd be better off as safety. And Trayvon Diggs, you have talent defensively that could probably help the Cowboys attain all those lofty goals, but offensively the philosophy seems to be faulty.
Yeah, and that goes back to Kellen Moore. That goes back to the training or the shadowing that he did with Linehan, the shadowing that he did with Garrett. Like the philosophy is faulty because it's based off of somebody else's philosophy.
Yeah.
To me, he does give some creativity, but when things go awry, he goes into let's just pass the ball, and we're not successful that way. We won't be successful that way.
Right. Yeah. And that's the issue I have with the Cowboys overall. It's like you're running away from what your best asset is. Your quarterback loves to do play action. He's best when he does that. You have a running back by committee right now. There's no excuse that you cannot give these backs at least 15 carries each. And the team operates better all around when they run the ball. And in not doing that, I think, and of course, I look at Mike McCarthy, who does not really believe in the running game, even though he'll pay you lip service and say he does. I think that just shoots the whole team in the foot, and I hate seeing that with a good team like them, with the makeup that they have. All right, let me get to you, Wise. So the Giants are on the road. They actually are here. I'm in Nashville. Yes. They have a late start of 4:25 kick. I know that they've had their struggles over the past few years, but they've addressed a lot. They've addressed a lot of needs, both on the offensive and defensive lines.
Yes.
Where is your biggest focus when it comes to the Giants in terms of, okay, I'm not seeing the same old stuff the last few years. I'm seeing a turn, and I'm seeing that they are improving.
We need a healthy Saquon. That's where it starts. It's if we have a healthy Saquon Barkley, that opens up that offense. It definitely opens up the offense. It gives. I don't even call him Danny Dimes because he doesn't deserve that name. Daniel Jones. It opens up the game for him. It allows him to try to get the ball into the hands of his playmakers like Tony Robinson. I like the kid Wan'Dale Robinson. He's gonna be phenomenal. And I hate to say it, Kenny Galladay, but it starts with Saquon, man. It starts with Saquon. If he can be healthy and he can give us 1,000 yards rushing and whatever he does as far as the passing game as well, because he can handle the rock, he can catch the ball as well. Mm-hmm. That's where it starts. And then that offensive line, which they've made improvements with the pick last year, and then this year's pick of Evan Neal.
Yes,
and then
good pick, by the way.
And then bringing in some of the Buffalo Bills linemen that David was familiar with.
Mm-hmm.
So if that offensive line can be better than what it's been in the last few years, the Giants have something, and especially with Saquon being healthy. On the defensive side of it, right now we have two of our best pass rushers injured. We have Thibodeau who's hurt.
Kayvon Thibodeau,
and Uzi and the other young kid that last year stepped up.
Yeah, talk on it. I can see his name.
I see. I can. It confuses me sometimes saying his name, but it's it's again with the Giants' line play. It has to be that line play. They have They have a young secondary, and the linebackers is still unproven after getting rid of Blake Martinez. This Aziz, yes, thank you, Andrew. Aziz, and
Aziz Ojulari, yeah.
It starts off with Saquon's going to be the key, man. If they can, and then the key against the Titans, if we're going to win this game, is stop King Henry, make Tannehill beat you. They're going to have to put pressure on him, and hopefully Leonard Williams and those guys there up front can get that pressure on him. Hopefully Aziz or Thibodeau can be available this weekend. So far, it looks like neither one will be available. I'm hoping someone is available because we need that pass rush. We need that. That's something we've lacked the last few years, and that's what we've always we've always had that big pressure from the quarterback pressure we've had. Strahan, we had Uzi,
especially the last two rings y'all have.
Yeah, we had
sure.
JPP. Of course, back in the days we had LT. We had all
right.
So we've always had that pass rusher that with that swag and that attitude. And I feel when Aziz did a great job last year. He had a great rookie year. This year, hopefully Thibodeau can and I love this kid. I love his attitude. I love his swag. I love everything about him. And so if he can do what he's capable of doing, it's sky's the limits for the defense. But the key is going to be Saquon, man. We need to run the ball.
Man. Okay. Yeah. I'm glad you addressed Azeez Ojulari and Kayvon Thibodeau. Basically because I really believe that if the two of them are healthy, they could give the Titans trouble. Because should they be able to, I won't say stop, but contain Henry, then I think Tannehill would have a whole ton of issues staring down those two coming at him. But if the Titans don't have to deal with that, it almost grooves it for what the Titans love to do best. But Saquon, how healthy do you think he is in terms of, do you think that he can now withstand?
He's the healthiest he's been the last few years. He's like, he's really, this is probably the healthiest he's been since his rookie year. So if he can be Saquon that we know he can be, it's going to be a good year for us.
Okay. All right. Yeah. And I think this is going to be interesting just to see those three. And of course, the Commanders round out the 4 teams in the NFC East. Well, see, you got a little preview of the NFC Beast right here. All right, gentlemen. I know that the time is short for definitely for you, Ben, and you, Sam. So I'll just ask this question now. If you have to choose any of the 4 teams that will win the NFC East and it's not yours, what team would you pick? I will start with you first, Ben.
So the team that I would pick that's not mine, you're saying?
Yes.
Eagles. I think on paper they look good. They added some young talent. They added a wide receiver. So I'm gonna say Eagles.
Okay. Sam?
It's ironic because I'm going to go Cowboys. Yeah, I mean, obviously the Cowboys have a lot of talent on defense. Dak Prescott's a clutch quarterback that I think is getting ready to ascend to that top 5 level. And, yeah, I personally think it's going to be a tough matchup this season and one that's going to be a lot of fun to watch for both of their games this year.
I love that, Sam. I love that, what you just said there.
Wise?
This is gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt.
Come on, Wise. Come to me. Come to me, Wise. Come to the light.
You already know.
You're gonna say the Cowboys?
Yes, I'm gonna say the Cowboys. Yes.
Oh
yes.
Wow.
You know why? Yeah. I'm not sold on on Hurts. I'm Jalen Hurts. I'm not. Dak has proven he can quarterback in this league, and if Dallas can get Zeke right. And Pollard has shown he can run the rock. You gotta be nervous, man. You gotta be nervous with what they bring to the table, because it just Hurts is unproven. He has to show me that he can stay in the pocket and be accurate and complete passes. He has the weapons now. He has AJ Brown. Yes, he has but again, Dak has proven it. He's shown he can sling the rock. If he had proper coaching, if he had someone who believed in running the rock more, they probably it would have been a no slam dunk for me. But I got to go with the Cowboys.
Yeah, I know that
stung,
that hurts. I know that stung. I know that stung.
Twisting a knife, man.
That warms my heart. Today, this particular day, what's the date? September 9th.
September the 9th.
Oh man.
No Man in the Morning episode ever.
Well, I'm glad you have pronounced this to be the best episode of this show ever, sir. I wonder why you would say that. And I know you have to go, Ben. So tell the people, Ben, where the people can find you.
Definitely. So BS3 Network, all avenues of social media. Also, BS3network.com is the website. BS3 TV Live for the Roku and BS3 TV on Roku. Add it on your Roku TV or device. Check out Revelations at 2. And check out Wise, I believe, at 10.
10 p.m. Central, 11 p.m. Eastern.
Okay. All
Yes,
right.
Eastern.
All right. So make sure to tune in to both of those today.
And also tune in to the forecast, 8:30 p.m. Central, 9:30 Eastern, Monday nights. This guy leads a bunch of hooligans.
Hooligans, yeah. A bunch of hooligans and shenanigans, yeah.
And doing film reviews the way that you've never seen it. I love that show, man. I've been meaning to say it to you for the longest. Ben Suther the third, the owner, the manipulator, the operator of BS3 Network, and a longtime friend of mine, all the way back to the BS3 Sports Days. Man, thank you for coming. I appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, no problem, no problem. Take care, guys. Have a good one.
You too, man.
All right.
All right, Sam. I got this question for you before I let you go, sir.
Absolutely.
All right. So, if you were to say the Eagles will have a successful season, how would it look?
Oh, see, that's a tough question to answer because with all the talent that we added this offseason and the playoff run last season, which in my mind was really a year too early, the expectations in Philadelphia are very high. So in my mind, I'm looking for a minimum of 10 wins. If we win less than 10 games and Jalen Hurts stays healthy, A.J. Brown stays healthy, and, we can get at least 12 games out of Miles Sanders, we should at least win 10 games. If those three factors, if any one of those guys gets hurt, maybe I adjust my expectations, but right now it's 10 wins or bust in my mind.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think Eagles fan does have to temper their expectations, and I think that's a really good way of putting it, man. 10 wins, I think, is a good barometer, and if you see them get to 10, I think people will have to say that's an improvement. Although, yes, you'd say, well, not so much, but I would say it is because, well, I agree with you. I think the team blossomed, and I put this in quotes, 1 year too early too. I do agree with you there. And I think they have the talent to where I think they could pull off those 10 wins. I really believe that. So where can the people find you, good sir? Because you put forth such great programming and content.
I'm sorry, you cut out there for a second.
No, I said where can people find you because you put forth great content?
So you can typically find us on YouTube. I've got a couple new contributors that have started up recently, so definitely check out their shows as well. I'll have an announcement interview coming out tonight at 9:30 p.m. Eastern. One of the players I recently interviewed has gotten a contract offer, and so I'm having him on to announce where he's headed for the 2023 season. But it's out on ShadySportsNetwork.com. I recently got that up and running. I would like some constructive criticism. I've got some criticism recently about the website, so for all of you guys that are a lot more knowledgeable than I am, if you could pop on there and let me know how I could improve the site, I would drastically appreciate that because this is not really my realm. I'm kind of learning as I go. So
what's the site again, Shady?
Yeah. Say the site. Say the site name again.
Network. ShadySportsNetwork.com.
Okay. All right, we'll do that, man. We will do that.
Definitely, I appreciate it.
Because your stuff is quality, and we know that you put forth nothing but. Sam Shady, the Shady Sports Network, joined us a little later than usual, but we still got it in. Glad we were able to. It's always a pleasure to talk with you, man.
Absolutely, same with you. I appreciate you guys getting me in here. Like I said, I look forward to every Friday morning speaking with you guys. It's always a lot of fun.
As we look forward to speaking with you, brother. Sam Shady, the Shady Sports Network. Thank you once again, sir. As always, it's a pleasure. All right. And what we will do now is we will take a break. And from that break on the other side, we will enter the Boom Shakalaka. Back after this. This is Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.
A TED Talk, but I don't have anything to talk about yet. I'm getting there.
Life is for the living. We're not here that long.
You can learn anything you want to learn without any money spent.
What do I really enjoy? What do I really want out of life?
I am your host, WIZE.
Are you in a life holding pattern? Well, this is for you. Welcome to the Stuck in My Mind podcast.
Steph Curry.
Tim Anderson.
Jordan Alvarez.
And it's caught. Debo Samuel with the catch. Michael Jordan can sense.
The Fro just got the king. BS3 Network. The hottest of hot takes. The coldest of cold hard facts. This is Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. Weekdays at 8 a.m. Eastern. Check your local listings for your viewing and listening pleasure.
Hey everybody, Snowman here, and thanks for listening to this episode of Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. Want to tell you about a little thing we like to call Monkey Knife Fight. Wait, what in the world is that, you may ask? Well, Monkey Knife Fight is a daily fantasy site where you can play your favorite games, support your favorite players, and make money at the same time. And right now, if you go to monkeyknifefight.com and use the code Snowman, you will get a 100% deposit match on up to $100 on your initial deposit. Go to monkeyknifefight.com and use the code Snowman for an up to 100% deposit on your first deposit of up to $100. Thanks, and tell them Snowman sent you.
Mister, how do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
That is on Twitch, on TikTok, on Instagram, and on Twitter. It is official SIT Morn, official SIT Morn on Twitch, Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. Back at it, Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. There you go. Got a blooper for me. Cole Johnson with Wiser Hefe, and want to greet everybody in the chat. Of course, the new ones. Aunt Tricia, good morning to you. Show me, good morning.
Morning, Aunt Tricia.
Again, Sean, good morning to you. I hope everything is fine with all of you. But you already know what time it is because Andrew actually typed it in. He said 2 people and 4 nostrils. So you know when you hear that, you already know what time it is. it is now time for me, as I get this from Grand Poobah. And it's like, hey, yo, hit the button.
Don't soil this program by putting crap on it. Joe Buck, I cannot take him. I just, no dice. I'm glad Carlos Boozer finally took the kiwi off his face. It should be on your shoes, not your face. It's kiwi shoe polish, for God's sake. LeBron should come clean about his age. I wish baby Jesus that I had alcohol in this container, because I need some after watching Screaming A. Smith.
Baby Jesus? Really?
6 pounds, 7 ounces. Go tell 5 of your friends and 8 of your enemies that Chris Bass will be in the air.
From Street News Now, from Baseline, and from Chris Bass Interviews, we enter the Boom Shakalaka with the one, the only, Mr. Chris Bass.
Good morning. Good morning, and a hearty Boom Shakalaka to the Equalizer and to Wise All. Where's the snowman at? I didn't catch is he all right?
Well, he said he had some stomach issues. He said he was going to be here.
Okay.
He was getting tea at the moment.
Yeah. He got tea, and he said he was going to be coming to the studio. So I guess he hasn't made it back yet.
Okay,
but that's cool. But he says hello, and hopefully he will join us.
Cool. Big shout out to the Rain Man as well. And also shout out to the people in the comment section. It's always a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. And who's the person who typed about the nostrils and 2 people? Who was that again?
That would be Andrew.
Andrew. Thank you for that. Once again, just to give a quick recap, I had this wonderful dream that I was a drug dealer, and I invited 2 people that I knew at the time, Mario, and that's what friends are for.
No, they didn't mention the name.
Yeah, and they came by, and once again, just to get the backstory real quick, I was watching all these gangster movies, Goodfellas and Scarface and all this. So I dreamt that I was a Miami drug dealer. I was sitting on top of the world. I had this big penthouse and everything else. So I invited Dionne Warwick, and that's what friends are for, and also Mario to come by to snort cocaine with me. I'm not promoting drug use. I've never done cocaine in my whole entire life. It's a dream. So once again, I'm on top of the world. So I got this big, like I said, I'm on the table right now doing the program. Cocaine was up to here, enough for everybody. So if I ask you to come by, I got you. Just show up. But then these 4 nostrils snorted all my cocaine.
Not 2 people, 4 nostrils.
Look, you seen Mario and Dionne Warwick?
I have.
They got really huge, and God bless them. They could probably smell me right now.
Oh Lord, no.
Really, that's how big the nostrils are. God love them. So I come back. I went to get like some yak or something like that. And I come back, man, and all of it's gone. I mean, y'all didn't save me nothing.
Oh my gosh! We are joined now by.
Are you reprising the story? I think you're reprising.
Yes,
I am.
He just hit us with the bar of. Yeah, I had the cocaine stacked on top of the on the top of the table, and these 4 nostrils came. Not the 2 people, 4 nostrils.
4 nostrils. I nicknamed them Dirt Devil and Dyson.
Oh gosh!
And you wonder why I cut that particular piece. Forgive the sunglasses; these are prescription. I'm in studio now. You wonder why I cut that piece in the promo that I did.
I'm telling you, it's a game changer.
And I love the what Bass said last week. Between 2 people and 4 nostrils, all of it was gone. That was the piece I had to have.
Oh my!
You know how you watch drug movies or drug dealers, and they take a little stuff and they put it in their gum. I couldn't even do that.
Oh my gosh!
I couldn't even get it. I'm like, you couldn't even save me a taste. I couldn't even get a taste of it. So I kicked their gases out of my
you had to. You had to after they played.
If they snorted a mountain of cocaine, yes, I would hope you would.
You had to kick him out of your house after playing Dirt
Devil and Dyson.
not just Dirt Devil and Dyson, but Dirt Devil and Rug Doctor. Y'all remember that commercial? Rug Doctor steaming mad at dirt.
Yes, I do. Oh my
There you go.
goodness.
It's sad. It was. I woke up depressed, and I don't do drugs. I'm not a drug dealer.
He's not a drug dealer or a drug user, but he woke up depressed.
Right.
He's not a drug user, but he woke up to.
Right. It's the principle of the thing.
Oh, we go to Love Jones now. Okay.
Again, if I invite you over to snort, if I go to take a sniff, I didn't say do the whole. Once again, you taking some home with a goodie bag for yourself,
and you're the one that provided the goodie bag.
I got the yak. I had the yak. I had the food. I had everything.
You provided
not the yak too.
The crib and the goodie bag and everything.
Oh, good Lord!
And then that happens.
Wow!
I was outdone. I woke up. I was like, just goddamn.
We are barely 5 minutes in, and this is what we've gotten. Oh my God!
Damnness of shame. It really is.
a man who wakes up upset that his dream world of being a drug kingpin was literally snorted all up in nostrils.
It went all up it all went up 4 nostrils.
Right. And then he apologized.
It all went up.
Let us did apologize.
I'm like, wait a minute.
What?
I got back. I think I was getting the yak. And I got the glass and everything else in the yak. And I come back and they're all spread out on the carpet, laid out, just got cocaine all over their noses and face. And I was like, what in the hell? I mean, you didn't say me nothing. No.
Oh, no. I did not need to see that.
I was like, well, at least you're an honest hoe.
Just.
Oh, Lord, no, he invokes Delarice.
Man.
Wait.
Oh, Lord.
It's a damn shame.
You can't make none of this stuff up, man.
You can't make this up.
But hold on, though. A grown man who has never used any drugs of that nature is not and he's not a drug pusher. Wakes up from a dream where he was a drug kingpin, disappointed that his supply was snorted up.
That's right.
Oh my gosh.
That's right. That's right, Cole.
Only you. Okay.
This is where Curtis Mayfield and the song "I'm Your Pusher" comes into play.
I'm your daddy.
I'm not in that alley. Exactly. That's
but at least in the song they made money.
Exactly.
Which is obviously the deal with being a drug dealer. I didn't get crap. I got a goose egg.
You got
I got nothing. This was my supply.
You got a
you
goose
got
egg
high
and you got
off of my supply.
Okay. You got a goose egg and you got crapped on dealing with those two with Mario and Dion.
Man, I turned to Ralph Camden for the honeymoon.
Announcers that mistook Dion Ward for Gladys Knight.
Look,
Cole, well put for them being adults of the week. All right, let me just throw that in there.
Thank you.
But back to this, we're barely into the segment. I barely walked in the house and walked into my studio, and Cole's falling out of his chair already. Wise has that look of, oh, here we go again. And Bass is just sitting there, just as innocent. I can't plan this.
It's just another day. It's just another day in the world of Chris Bass.
And I love what Bass said. I love what Bass said at the beginning of last week's episode, and that's all I'm going to call it. And I love you, Bass, for this. When he said, "Thank you for letting me do what I do, and I don't know what the hell I'm doing."
Okay, so I do have a serious question to ask you. So
go right ahead.
You just celebrated a milestone birthday. How was your weekend, sir?
It was great. And I'll share this with the audience in all seriousness. I had heart surgery back in 2015, back in June 2015. And it was obviously major. And when you have something like that, you do have a deep reflection of your life. because to be completely transparent with everybody here, I didn't know I was going to, make it because I could have died on the operating table. That's how serious I was thinking.
Right.
And my wife had passed away earlier in that February of that month. So I'm going into surgery and I'm saying to God, if I have just a tiny say so in it, don't take me now. Don't take me now because I don't want my daughters to lose both their parents in 1 year.
1 year. Oh.
And that was my prayer going into it. And then I wake up post surgery, and they have a tube down your throat because, of course, you've been out, you've been breathing and everything else, and it helps you to breathe. And when I woke up, my youngest daughter, Mattia, was here at the time, and she saw me and got the nurse. And I was in there by myself. And in my left ear, like as clear as day, someone said, "You dodged the Reaper."
Wow.
And I looked around like I thought it was a doctor, somebody in the room. No, it was just, so that had to be God, as far as I'm concerned, because that was a serious situation, and I was able to go forward with that. So every birthday since then has a stronger magnitude per year. So to reach 55, I'm glad to be still walking the earth like Kane in Kung Fu. It was very great.
I really, I know that feeling so
So glad
well
to hear that.
because as everyone knows, I had cancer surgery on April 4th of this year. Man, I'm like you. I was so happy to reach 50 and to celebrate number 50. My wife brought home a big ass ice cream cake from Dairy Queen and presented it to me. My daughter got a piece. My wife got a piece. She came up to me, gave me the biggest hug and kiss, and said, "Happy 50th birthday, tall man." And then that was God's message to me. You're not finished yet. You got a lot. You got a lot to do. And I remember meeting Mattia. I was a security guard at Whitney Young as well as an announcer. And Mattia, bless her heart, comes up to me with a big smile on her face. And she says, "You know my father." And at that time, I'm thinking, oh, shucks, who did I make angry now? I said, "I do?" "Yeah, you do." And she's, like I said, she's just glowing and smiling. And I said, "Who's your father?" "Don't you know Chris Bass?" And I burst out laughing. And I'm like, "Yes, I do know Chris." "Well, that's my dad." "Oh, well, cool." And she says, "Has you ever heard him talk about Mattia?" And I burst out laughing again. I said, "That's you, isn't it?" "Yep." Had a big hug right there. My boss was behind me. "What are you doing to one of my students?" I know this student's father, which frightened the daylights out of the assistant principal at the time. And when I said the word father, I was like, "I know this student's father." That tell you anything? He walked away silently and never bugged me again. But I remember the day I met Mattia at Whitney Young. But again, to your point, Base, I'm so happy you're at 55, and I'm so happy to be at 50.
And I'm so happy that both of you are here to do what you all do best.
Oh, well, thank you. That's
Man, I had so much fun with Chris Bass when we worked at PSI.
I see how you could.
Because every time we worked together, it was a party. It could be the dullest day. It could be the dullest day for everybody else. But when Bass and I got together, the whole studio was buzzing.
Look, man, when you were recouping back in April, and it was like a revolving chair. One, I think it was one of those Fridays. Wise actually was off, and it was Wise. Another was cool. Another was just me, and I got a chance to get to know Chris by myself, basically. And and then I'm going off of the stories that you told, because I remember there was times I heard you interview him, and of course I was privy to this segment when it was in its infancy, and so I got a chance to just get to know this guy just on my own. And I was like, wow, he's equal parts thought-provoking as he is funny. I'm like, you don't normally get this type of richness from a human being. You really don't. And so sometimes I just sit back and I'm like, man, it's good to get the knowledge. And you sit back and say, why did that come out of his mouth? And I appreciate both.
Listen, the line that endeared me to bass forever. We did a story involving the Utah Jazz, and for some reason, the "Man by Me" came into play, and I just remember bass going, They used to call me Crazy Joe, but now they call me Buttman."
Oh,
I walked out of the studio in tears, laughing. And the crazy part? That's before we went on the air. That was before we went on the air. And then he repeated it on the air while I was doing the story. And I fell out again. Our boss came in. Our boss came in and heard me like hit my hand on the desk. And he goes, "Are you all right?" And I'm in tears. Fine.
I bet.
You just won't.
Yeah.
Believe what.
Yeah. And that's how I was. Just, like, wow. Just the stuff that just comes, and not now hearing your story and hearing what you just said now, Chris. Yeah, your humor hits different. And I mean in a richer way hits different.
The time I'm hanging out with bass, whether we
That means a lot to me. And again, when you have family and that's who you are, and you're able to. I give a perfect example. So my oldest daughter, Brianni. So I didn't want to say, like I got to take a piss. I didn't want to say it in front of my children.
Right.
So my key thing to my wife, Vicky, was I'm going to make a new nation, and that was my thing to say. Not going to the bathroom. So that was my thing, and I never told anybody about it. I mean, they're just going, "Hey man, where you going, man? I'm gonna make a new nation. I'll be right back." So I make the new nation, and then come back out. So my oldest daughter, Brianni, was about 8 at this point. So we're at the table. I'm getting ready to go. My wife is like, where are you going? And she blurts out, "Daddy's gonna make a new nation."
Oh no.
And she got it. I never told her about that, but she got it. So again, you're when you're around your parents, around your children, you know what quirks and what things they do, and personality traits. So I was kind of happy to hear that. So now the inside joke. I gotta go make a new nation and take it from there. And it's always interesting when your family knows that you ain't right. they know and they embrace it, because I ain't going nowhere. I mean, I'm not going to change. In fact, I'll probably get more ornery as I get older. No offense, but that's what happens when we get older. Yeah. And speaking of ornery, I have a public service announcement to make.
Okay.
Here's the deal. So, like most of us, we're on social media, like we all are.
Right.
And so on Facebook, I'll do what I call my show promo for my programs, but particularly, what's that?
Perusing social media.
That too. There you go. That's a perfect. That looks good.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's great.
Thank you, man.
So I'm breaking down my show promo primarily for Chris Bass interviews on Wednesdays and Baseline on Fridays. So it automatically now goes to Instagram. Now I really don't mess with Instagram that much because it's all connected. I just post it and it goes right to Instagram.
Yeah.
So I noticed that on Instagram, I'm getting these women who want to follow me. Okay. And these are the same women that I saw on Facebook. Let's make this perfectly clear. To all the hooker whores out there.
Wait.
To all of the hooker whores from coast to coast and beyond. I don't want to follow you. I don't want to know you. I don't want to have sexual relations with you. I don't want to do that. So don't follow me. I ain't no Mark. I don't want it. Don't need it. Not from you. So to all again, the hooker whores that are out there doing their thing. I don't begrudge you your business. Hooker whores need love too, just not from me. Y'all gotta eat just like everybody else. Drink everybody else. Nothing wrong with that. Have a living. Do your thing. As they say, do you, boo. Or not just do, you can do yourself or do one or two or three or four at the same time. That's your business.
Oh, Lord.
But leave me alone.
Oh, the hooker four horsemen. Lord have mercy.
The hooker whores are incredible. They're very persistent. They don't sleep because they're out here 24/7.
Oh my
on their back, on their knees. I don't begrudge them a living. On their side, put your legs behind your knees or whatever behind your head. Whatever you do to make a living, that is your business.
Not on your side. Not on your side.
But for the love of night, and goddamn you,
oh my gosh,
leave me alone. I'm serious now because I had to go through this with Facebook. I would put out. Look, you think I'm playing with y'all? I would put out public service announcements on Facebook about hooker whores, and then I would address it on my show as well. And the hooker whores went away. They closed their legs and walked away, and that's great.
Wait, that hookers, that whores for the hooker whores.
They're hooker whores.
Wait.
Oh Lord. Oh Lord, have mercy.
Man, it ain't easy being me.
Wait a minute.
It must not be. When you got hooker whores going at you.
Wait, Victor chimes in. He says, I thought it was the boom shakalaka, not time to go in. Well, it's time to go in.
You have to be careful phrasing that, Victor, because I'm not trying to go in.
He's not
with them. No, hell no.
But that PSA, I deliver one of my own.
I mean,
to
Christ
these
almighty.
Promoters on Instagram and Facebook that are disguised as hooker whores.
Yeah.
Leave me the absolute hell alone.
Oh my gosh.
Because they charge an absorbent amount to do 1 or 2 days of promoting. I'm like, I could do that for free. And keep you out of my face. Oh, Cole is crying. Cole is crying.
It's sad, man.
Oh my
God. Hooker whores.
One of the few times we see Cole without glasses.
Oh Lord. Hooker, you messed me up with hooker whores.
Man, I'm just trying to help people.
Listen, Cole.
Thank you for helping me.
Yeah,
you know Cole, you know they exist.
Oh, I know they exist. They exist. They come for me.
We just now have a term for it.
Yeah, they come for me. I know they come for wives too. I know.
Listen, every day I get a message. Do you need me to promote your Apple podcast? No.
Thank you.
No, ho. No, get the melons out of here.
You know what I do? You know what I do to challenge him? I would say, do you offer a free trial? One of those some bitches told me, I offer a 1-day free trial. I said, not enough. Delete.
I don't even go that far. Once I get the hooker whore look.
Oh no!
Wait. No. How is the look?
I can't do it. I don't want to do it, but you got a sixth sense about it, like a spider sense. Your spider sense be tangling, not tingling. Tangling. When they show up, like say for example, go back to Instagram,
right?
And they follow you. You're cute. You look good. No, heifer.
No.
No.
Oh, hell
No,
to the no.
heifer. No, you gotta go somewhere else. And
He
the
said,
hooker
"Oh,
whore
no,
heifer has to go away.
Hey,
I had fun with that. I started
I do too.
when I get those messages on Instagram,
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, where you from? And I just start making up some crazy stories.
No, forget the crazy stories. I'm like this. Hey, sexy. Oh, how you doing? Yeah, you know my wife is gonna see this, right? In fact, she's seeing it right now.
Wait a minute. Why is that one of the last questions they ask? That's one of the last questions they ask. So I nip that in the butt and do the same thing that you do, Cole.
Mm-hmm.
I do the same thing they do.
Yeah.
You know my wife's going to see this because I hide nothing.
Yeah.
Okay? You know my wife's going to see this. Go right away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It is a colossal waste of time.
It is.
It really is.
I agree.
Look, man, like I said before, I don't begrudge anybody trying to, make a living and get your bag and stuff like that. But me personally, as a human being first and as a man, I do not. I repeat, I do not want any hooker whores in my area or space. You gotta go. You gotta go. Pull like this. Gotta go. Gotta hold. They take that with you. That's what you gotta do. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I think we got one more segment to do. That's one of the times that Cole acts like me. He throws the headset away.
Gotta go, gotta ho.
That's right.
Oh no!
You know what? Where's Deshaun Watson when you need him?
Oh Lord, yes, he would love this segment. Oh my God!
Where's Deshaun Watson when you need him?
You could be like, Base. I ain't interested, but I know a ball player in Cleveland who is. Go deal with him.
There you go.
Exactly.
Oh my God.
Oh Lord.
That hurts my soul.
We have a new term now.
Oh Lord.
We have a new term now.
Oh good Lord.
That's Chris Base.
Oh,
that's Base every Friday.
Yes.
Where we allow him, as he says best.
Oh my gosh.
We allow him to do his thing.
I'm glad we do.
But we don't know what the hell he's going to do.
No, me neither.
And that's the greatest part about our Fridays and this segment on Fridays. When you have Cole walk off the set in laughter, and I got blackmail material for all of us now, myself included. And by the way, Base is founder, director, and manipulator of Me Find Me.
Yes.
And that's all I'm going to say. And that's how we're going to close this out. Oh man, Chris Base.
Thank you. Man.
Great yet. I know you had a fantastic birthday.
I'm so happy you did, man. Oh,
we love you. We'll cheer you on for 56 and beyond, my man.
Yes, man.
As long as you come back and I knew after I had him on the program, I knew having him every Friday would work.
It was one of the best decisions you've made, and I'm saying this on air.
Oh man, thank you.
I knew it. I just knew it, and then I presented it to Chris, and he said, "Well, thank you." I think he was shocked.
I was
when I offered it to him. But this is a chance for me to work with Base each and every week to reprise what we did at PSI Radio when we would have the whole studio. I mean, Bill would get so mad at us that we'd have the whole studio cracking up laughing.
Oh my gosh.
That he would just look at us as if to say, how do y'all do this and mix in the sports talk at the same time? Because we're good like that. And we're good like that with this. It's the Boom Shakalaka, and you can hear and see it every Friday. You will definitely hear this every Boom Shakalaka that I'm going to find and I'm going to put on YouTube. I'll have a section for it, and you will hear this on the Best of Snowman in the Morning each and every weekend. We love you, brother.
Well, let me say this, and I love you guys more. Let me say this about our company because it means a lot to me when we all support each other. So, for example, Brian will call in. I know Wise they call in. I know Cole will check in. So when we all help each other, we make each other better. And not too many people in our industry do that because they're just so self-absorbed. And nothing wrong with that. Just stay in the corner and suck your thumb. But the rest of us who want to help each other, I think is a good example of what we're doing. So I appreciate you brothers tremendously. And thank you for the loves. I love you more. And again, for those of you out there who want to connect with me, go to facebook.com and type in Chris Bass, CHRIS, B as in broadcasting, ASE. Again, there are like 75,000 Chris Basses. I'm the first. I'm the original. The hell with everybody else. You see my likeness on there. We can become friends. Check out my talk show platforms and become a part of the experience. What I call the world of bass. And be prepared because you might get shocked and awed and shocked. Once again, tell 5 of your friends and 8 of your enemies that Chris Bass will be in the air.
And he certainly will. And I'll be sure to check in today. Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
So much.
Thank you, man. Love you, brother. Love you, man.
More. Take care.
Thank you.
Don't soil this program by putting crap on it. Joe Buck, I cannot take him. I just no dice. I'm glad Carlos Loser finally took the kiwi off his face. It should be on your shoes, not your face. It's kiwi shoe polish, for God's sake. LeBron should come clean about his age. I wish baby Jesus that I had alcohol in this container because I need some after watching Screaming They Slip.
Baby Jesus? Really?
6 pounds, 7 ounces. Go tell 5 of your friends and 8 of your enemies that Chris Bass will be in the air.
But wait,
what Victor just said. At the end of that, you'll have 13 friends because those 8 enemies will become friends by the end of the segment.
Yeah, I agree, man.
I agree with that. And there's someone I need to greet because I wasn't able to do it as I was on the road. Kenshawn, thank you so much. BGS, the OG. I've been waiting for Dak for years. You and every other Cowboy fan I know.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of which, will you play one of the new intros for me, sir? Because we have some picks to make.
I know. I was going to say, it ain't over.
On your mark, get set, let's go. Cause we take this job so serious.
All of it, between 2 people and 4 nostrils, all of it was gone.
LeBron James is pure, unadulterated trash as a basketball player and has been for 20 years. We don't want to see that. Wait a minute. We don't want to see
cap, bro.
Number 420. Wise El Jefe. Number 420.
I had to do it. Oh man, I thought I missed it.
What in the all types of blue hell?
This is Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson.
I'm going to make a couple more of those over the weekend.
I'll make a couple more myself.
Oh, man.
Especially with the segment that just happened.
Oh my gosh.
I don't think Mike is going to make it, but we're gonna do our picks here and now.
Okay.
Let me choose something good here. Let's have a few. You know what? The hell with it. I remember Sunday Night Football being on ESPN, and it sounded like this.
With Joe Theismann, I'm Mike Patrick.
And let's go. This is our week 1 picks. They are presented by Monkey Knife Fight. The spreads and numbers that you will hear are courtesy of Caesar Sportsbook, and I'm working on becoming an affiliate with Caesar Sportsbook. Let's start at Soldier Field. 49ers and Bears with a 1 o'clock kickoff. 49ers are favored by 7. The over-under is 40.5. I'll go first. I'm taking the 49ers. I'm laying the points. And I'm going to go under because I don't trust that Bears offense. Up top to Cole.
Yeah. I don't trust that. Actually, I barely trust the Bears of anything. Defense, I barely trust them. Offensively, I definitely don't, especially the offensive line. The 49ers, well, let's see if Trey Lance is your guy, because we're about to see if that draft pick was worth something or worth nothing. But I do believe the 49ers will come out of that spaceship with a victory.
To the right side with Wise.
It's going to be clean sweep, man. I'm going with the 49ers on this.
All right, let's go to Cincinnati, Paul Brown Stadium. Steelers and Bengals. That's a 1 p.m. kickoff. Cincinnati favored by 6.5, over under 44.5. I'm going with the home team, and I'm going to lay the points. I love you, Trubisky, but I don't trust you. I'm going over on 44.5 because Joe Burrow's healthy. They've sort of fixed that offensive line, and as long as you keep Joe Burrow upright, you're going to get some points. I'm going with the Bengals. I'm taking them to cover the 6.5. In fact, I'm laying the points, and I'm going over on the 44.5. Let's go to Wise.
Oh, man, this is going to be a good game to me because I feel Trubisky was the right choice to start. But, man, that Bengals offense, if they did solve their issues with the offensive line, they're going to be dangerous, man, with Mixon, Burrows, Chase. It's going to be exciting, but I picked the Bengals to win that game.
Do you make it a sweep?
Yeah, it's going to be a sweep. Look, the Steelers defense is going to make it tough for the Bengals because I know many of the Steelers remember how the Bengals just trounced them the very last time they played in the very same stadium. However, it's like what I heard when I was younger. The Steelers just simply don't have the horses, and the Bengals will take care of business, and they're going to start proving that last season wasn't a fluke.
All right, let's go down to Houston. Y'all see the shirt I'm wearing. Put this in for my wife. Colts at the Texans. That's a 1 o'clock. Colts are favored by 7, over under 45.5. Yeah, going with the Colts, laying the points. And I'm going over because for some reason, Matt Ryan is the final piece of the AFC South puzzle for the Colts. And I got them winning the division going away. Going with the Colts, laying the points, and I'm going over. Cole, to you.
For those who don't know me, I am a Texans fan, so I'll say this straight up and out. Memo to Colts, team, organization, and fans. If the Texans beat you, you should simply quit being in the NFL. Colts should simply destroy the Texans. Destroy.
Ooh, that hurt. I being a Texans fan, I know that must. But anyway,
yes,
oh man, listen. Why would I go against arguably the best running back in the game right now? And he has a reliable quarterback that they can trust in Matty Ice.
Yes.
Colts.
I feel so sorry for the Falcons, and that's where we'll end our 1 p.m. game picks. Saints and Falcons. That's a 1 p.m. kickoff at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Saints are favored by 5.5. Over under is 43. Give me the Saints. To hell with it. I'll lay the points, and I'm going over. Let's go to Wise.
I like the Saints. I think the Saints with Jameis Winston have something to prove in that division, that they might actually win that division. I'm not sold on Tampa Bay anymore, but I'm going with the Saints.
Cole?
Clean sweep. I don't really see what the Falcons can do, especially how they're still trying to pick up the pieces, and they're still picking up the pieces. Meanwhile, I think the Saints, just with the strength of Alvin Kamara alone, can beat the Falcons. So I like what the Saints are going to do. They're going to take care of business.
Those in the chat, pick along with us. You're hearing the numbers. If you need them repeated, I'll be happy to we'll go over them again. I want Cole to go first on this next one as we start our 425 picks. Packers, Vikings, US Bank Stadium. The number is Green Bay, favored by 1.5. Over under is 47. Cole, you start this round first.
Okay. Normally the Packers seem to, well, I should say not Packers. The Hayakusha man seems to have really good success against the Vikings in Minneapolis. I would love to lean toward the Vikings, and I know last year they did beat them there. I just don't see it this time. I simply do not trust Kirk Cousins, especially in big games or games against teams that actually can play and are playoff contenders. I will take the Packers straight up.
All right. Wise to you.
Oh man. Even with the loss of Devontae Adams, and this is not easy because I don't think the Packers are the same Packers from before. Listen, losing Adams is big, but once you have Aaron Rodgers on that line on your thing, it's always a shot for you to win. And like you, I really don't trust Kirk Cousins, even though he does have some weapons and Thielen and Jefferson,
Mm-hmm.
and of course Dalvin Cook.
Oh,
you know what?
Love him.
I'm not really feeling the Packers. So you know what? I am going opposite. I am going with the Vikings on this.
I'll do the same. I don't trust Aaron Rodgers. Period.
Well,
I trust Kirk Cousins even less. But given the fact it's at US Bank Stadium and Paul Allen is on the call for the Vikings, and there's going to be 60,000 maniacs there, I say Skull Vikings. I'm taking the Vikings, and I'm taking the points, and I'm calling for the Vikings to get the straight up win at home.
Now I'm rooting for the Vikings, though.
Yeah, there you go. Raiders and Chargers, and yes, I'm going to say this correctly. The San Diego Chargers. God, I wish they were still in San Diego.
Same.
But I'm going to say San Diego Chargers all season long because that's what I grew up with. It's Raiders week in San Diego. Chargers are favored by 3. Over under is 52. And a lot of Raider fans are not going to like my next 2 sentences. I'm taking the Chargers. My next 3 sentences, rather. I'm taking the Chargers. I'm laying the points, and I'm going over because the Raiders are going to get demolished by Justin Herbert and the Chargers. Up top to Cole.
So Vegas is disrespecting Chargers. So if they're only home favorite by 3, that means they don't really think the Chargers are going to be that competitive team, the AFC West, if that is true.
Mm-hmm.
However, the Chargers just have too much for the Raiders. And I get the Raiders are offensively strong, and they match up pretty well against the Chargers. I just believe that the Chargers just have a little too much, even with the fact that Brandon Staley acts as though, as the head coach, he has no brain. But yes, I will still pick the Chargers at home.
Brandon Staley, get it right this time against the Raiders, will you please? Victor Locke, our first fan pick. I think this game will start the growing pains for Rodgers without Adams. I'm going Vikings. There you go.
Okay.
So we got another Vikings pick. We're all rooting for the Vikings.
Yeah.
We all can't stand Aaron Rodgers. We all just cannot stand Aaron Rodgers. And plus, I got 4 extra reasons why I can't stand Aaron Rodgers, because my team has beaten him 4 times in the playoffs. So F you, Aaron Rodgers.
I watch come when I game in January.
Chiefs and Cardinals at 4.
But I didn't get to pick my pick.
Yeah. Wise.
Oh, God, I'm sorry, Wise. Go ahead.
I'm going Chargers on this. I feel defensively they're much better than the Raiders. Offensively, they have the weapons as well with Herbert and the squad that they have there. I picked the Chargers to win this game.
All right. So we're all the same on that one. Let me find another theme here. Hey, y'all remember this one? Ow! You know I'm gonna send that to you, Cole.
Please.
I'm gonna send that to you and all the stingers that I can drum up and have. Here we go. Chiefs and Cardinals in the desert. 4:25 is the start time. Chiefs are favored by 6, over under 53.5. I'm taking the Chiefs. I'm laying the points, and I'm going over because it's Patrick Mahomes, period. I mean, Patrick Mahomes minus Tyreek Hill is going to do more than what the Dolphins are going to do this week. I said it aloud, and I'm going to keep saying it. Going with the Chiefs, laying the points, going over. Cole?
Well, I know the Cardinals are much improved, and they feel as though Kyler Murray is that guy, and they have DeAndre Hopkins. Oops, no, they don't.
No, they don't.
See, they have Larry Fitzgerald. Oops, no, they don't. Oh, they have Christian Kirk. Oops, no, they don't. Chiefs. It's not even going to be a competition.
The Cardinals are going to get destroyed at home. Wise, do you complete the sweep?
Of course I do, man. I don't think Kyler Murray's ready for Kansas City. Nah, it's to me like y'all pointed out. No Hopkins, no Kirk, no weapons.
No weapons.
You need to put up points to beat the Chiefs.
I mean, if your weapons going to be Ertz, come on, really?
And they're trusting Zach Ertz to fill in the 3 big holes. You may as well go back to St. Louis for that. Take the over that game. No, it won't. It'll be a blowout, not a shootout.
Yeah.
I don't trust Kyler Murray. I've said that for 2 years, and I will say it again. I don't trust Kyler Murray, period.
It's hard to trust him.
I don't trust Kyler Murray. I don't trust Cliff Kingsbury.
I definitely don't trust him.
The moment they hired Cliff Kingsbury, I laughed. I don't trust them, period, especially at home. The Cardinals are going to regress in the NFC West this year. Sunday night takes us to Dallas. It's the Buccaneers. It's the Cowboys. I'll do the official. It's an 8:20 kickoff. All the times are Eastern.
Right.
I'll do the official numbers. Tampa Bay's favored by 2.5. The over-under is 50.5. It may as well be bigger than that. The Buccaneers are going to absolutely demolish the Dallas Cowboys at home. And I hate saying this name aloud, but Dak Prescott here, Tom Brady here. I'm taking the Buccaneers. I'm laying the points, and I'm going over. Ain't no way. I don't care who starts at running back for the Cowboys. Got mad at me for this, but boys, yeah, blow. Get a shot. I'm going here. Let's go.
Right. To your point, Deets, yes, I do know Rondale Moore, talking about it, Cardinals wide receiver. Yeah, he has great hands, great footwork.
Yeah.
I still don't think even with him, that's enough for the Cardinals to overcome the Chiefs. Okay, so we're with the Bucs Cowboys. Vegas actually is making the Bucs a road favorite. Smart. I like that. I see that, and I said this last hour. We need to see the Cowboys embrace running the football more, but they're so enamored with CeeDee Lamb that they will mess that whole stuff up. And because of that, and because of the holes that the offensive line for the Cowboys have, I think the deficiencies on the Cowboys offensive line outweigh the deficiencies on the Bucs offensive line. And because of that factor alone, I take the Bucs straight up.
This is gonna hurt me.
Wise?
This is gonna hurt. This is gonna hurt. This is gonna hurt my soul.
Oh no, you're not gonna do what I think
it's gonna hurt my soul.
This is gonna hurt his soul. Oh,
it's gonna hurt my soul.
Wise.
I don't have faith in Tampa Bay. Listen. Let me tell you why. You lose your center and your guard.
Oh, that's a big loss. Oh, no
Two of your biggest.
It is.
And this is the way you can get at Brady is up the middle.
Right.
So, And then with the transition to Bowles, Todd Bowles is a great defense coordinator, great defensive mind. I don't think that offense is going to be the same. Yes, Andrew. Yes, I am going with the Cowboys. I do not want to do it.
Are you getting gray hair in front of our eyes?
No, listen. I'm thinking. I'm going logically, man.
Now, what?
And
what
Dallas has the deficiencies on offense. Yes.
Now, what might change
Both
your
teams
mind,
have
though?
deficiencies on offense. I
Now,
know that, but
I actually am. I feel Dallas's defense is so much better than the Buccaneers.
Blah. I ain't buying it. I'll believe it. I'll believe it when I see it.
All right. So what might change your mind a little, and I don't think it will, but it might a little. Brady is more confident when Chris Godwin's on the field.
Yeah.
For some reason, he has the connection with him, like he did with Julian Edelman, and then beforehand, Wes Welker. I think to have that type of safety blanket, that helps Brady out, even if there is a huge hole in the middle of his offensive line. But I do agree with your point. That is hard to overcome. But if any quarterback can, it's him. And the Bucs, they don't really wow you defensively, but they're solid on all three phases of defense. It's just for them, the problem is they don't have the pass rusher. Same thing with the Bills last year. They don't have the pass rusher that can cover the multitude of possible sins that the Bucs could actually give you if you allow them to try to cover 5, 6, 7 seconds.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. One more. That's Monday night, 8:15. Broncos at Seattle. Who wrote this script? Broncos favored by 6.5. Over under is 44.5. This is going to hurt my soul. Give me the Broncos. I'll lay the points. And I'm going under. The Russell Wilson Bowl. Absolutely. I'm going under on the over under, but I'll trust Russell Wilson before I trust anybody the Seahawks throw. Geno Smith? Really?
Yeah, that's
the hell with that. I'm going over. I'm taking the Broncos, I'm laying the points, and I'm going over. Our last pick, our last pick of the week. Cole, to you.
I will say it this way.
Uh-oh.
The Seattle Seahawks
are screwed.
The Seattle Seahawks are a wonderful NFL franchise.
Oh boy.
For me to poop on.
Thank you, Triumph.
Thank you, Triumph, the comic dog. Geno Smith is your starting quarterback. You mean to tell me Drew Lock is that bad? Really? Drew Lock is that bad that you're going to put Geno Smith ahead of him? What are you thinking, Pete? I don't get it. I think you're an absolute idiot. Anyway, Russell Wilson will have a field day against his former team because he's going to lick his lips and lick his chops and enjoy destroying and dismantling the Seahawks.
That's why I'm going over. Wise, finish it off.
Okay, so with me, you said Geno Smith. Just Geno Smith. That's all I gotta say. Geno Smith.
Geno Smith. How I finished this
Broncos.
With the words. I finished this off with the words of Mike Francesa. How can Seattle host the Broncos and play Geno Smith and then tell me you're trying to win?
Well, Francesca, you're right.
I mean, he said, how can you go to Kansas City? When he was talking about the Jets, he said, how can you go to Kansas City, which is a pit to play in, and play Geno Smith and then tell me you're trying to win? No. Seattle, how can you start a new era after you let your quarterback walk?
Yeah.
You let your quarterback of 9 years walk.
Yeah, you let him go and get nothing in return.
You trade for Drew Lock. You trade for Drew Lock in that deal.
Yes.
And he's not even starting. You don't start him. You start Geno Smith.
So
that's all that needs to be said.
So that's why I'm looking, and I'm looking at either Drew Lock or Pete Carroll, because I'm like, somebody must be really faulty. Because the decision to start Geno Smith over Drew Lock, I just don't get.
Those are our picks. What are your picks? Let us know by tweeting the show and following the show on following the show on all social media. Official SIT Morning is the ID that you need. Tell us what your picks are. We've made ours. Now you make yours. Break for Bryce. That's the plan.
So that's what the Seahawks are doing. That's what the Seahawks are doing. They're playing for Bryce Young. That's what they're doing, Chris.
Are we? Look, is this a repeated tank for Tua?
It might
like it
be
was 3 years ago. And the Dolphins wind up getting Tua, and he broke his hip.
And they've been trying to trade him ever since.
Yep. They've been trying to. I had to look at these games carefully because some of these games were dog games, man.
Yeah.
Some of these games in week 1 are dog game. Let me break out my New York accent. This one's for you, Wyatt. Some of these games are dog games.
So the schedule,
games, man.
So the schedule was surrounding, hopefully crossing fingers, that the games you'd want to see would be the Chargers, Raiders, Bills, Rams, Bucks, Cowboys, and the rest doesn't matter.
Let's do a bonus game in honor of our buddy Jay Spivey, and here it is.
Oh, good Lord!
You know what? I take that back. Baker versus Browns. Can I ask an edited question? Who gives up?
Okay, I think for the first.
Let me do something real quick because I'm going to cut something while I'm editing today, and I'm going to send this to Cole and to Wise, and I want y'all to do something with it. Give me this camera right here. I will not cuss. 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 I will not swear. I will not swear. I will not cuss. I will not cuss. I will not cuss. There. I'm going to cut the daylights out and send it to y'all.
Okay.
Who cares? Who cares?
For the first time ever, I'm going to say a tie.
A scoreless tie.
That's even better. I'm rooting for a scoreless tie so that both fan bases in Cleveland and in Charlotte hate it. Because it's horrible. Both franchises are terrible.
May I borrow Jay Spivey's words? Both franchises are clown shows.
He's right. They both are.
Both franchises are clown shows.
I think a little bit more Cleveland now because of the nonsense with Deshaun Watson and all that.
They're both clown shows. A little more to Cleveland, to Wise's point, but I'm going to say this honestly. They both suck.
Yeah. But I'm gonna go.
Don't do it.
Listen.
Don't do it.
Christian McCaffrey is hurt.
Yeah, don't do it.
Healthy. I'm not rooting for the Browns. I look like rooting for the Browns. I want the Browns to lose because they just.
I want both teams. Can we have both teams go 0-7? Wait a minute. I got something for you, Wise, and I mean this playfully.
How about 0-16-1? 0-16-1.
One, I got this for you, and I'm totally as I say this. You tripping.
Oh Lord.
I say this to both teams.
You suck, you jackass.
Listen.
I
can't stand the Browns.
Half the Browns fan base can't root for him either.
Wait a minute, and you're talking to a fellow that used to live in North Carolina. You're talking to a fellow that used to live in North Carolina.
Same. I used to live in North Carolina too.
Wait a minute. There are 2 teams in my household, and the Panthers ain't either one of them. Period.
Yep.
Because every time wife and I would watch football when we were down there, she would just look at me and go, "Find the Colts."
Bro, my brother lives in Charlotte, and he could see. Well, he could used to see the stadium from his house, but they just built some apartments in front of him. So, but he's a 49ers fan. He's a 49ers fan.
He's got
Yeah.
It's
But,
like my dad used to tell me all the time when I would make a knucklehead move. Act like you got some sense.
I'm going to go with Carolina, though.
So I am. And we're getting out of here. Those are our. I want a scoreless tie between those two. Will it happen? Probably not, but I want a scoreless tie. I want them both to suck. They both do suck.
They
I want
both
them
do
both
suck.
to go 0-16-1. Okay? I want them to go 0-16-1, and I want the Dolphins to go 0-17.
But I like what Chris Deed said.
I got
It's like,
wow.
When he put
Not
that,
don't go in 17.
When he said take Baker, it's that heel return always comes out. Yeah, I feel that. And that's in reference to wrestling.
Care.
Yeah.
This is I have no sympathy for the Carolina Panthers and less than none for the Cleveland Clowns. I don't care. All right. Let's get the hell out of here because I got some catch-up work to do. I am moving the podcast to another carrier, at least for the time being. And my daughter's calling me. So gotta go. I gotta talk to Cheyenne. Cheyenne says, thank you guys for all the well wishes and all the good vibes and all the good spirits. So I thank everyone in the chat. I thank these two guys here. And Cheyenne's waiting for me. Let me get out of here.
Have a great day. Take care of him.
I will. I got to take care of my daughter, even though she's in LA and I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
Got to provide the moral support. I mean, hell, she's done it for me since day one, since I met her.
That's right.
And I will have a picture on Monday of the funniest thing I ever saw. And it was the day, I'll explain it. It was the day of my wedding. My wife wanted to get out of her high heels, and she's still in her wedding dress. So she called over my daughter Sonia and my daughter Cheyenne. Cheyenne didn't care. Cheyenne just dove under the dress trying to get the shoe off. And Sonia, bless her heart, was trying to be delicate about it.
Not delicate.
She was. It was a funny picture, but it was a great time by all. We're out of here. Have a great weekend. God bless. Remember to make your next move your best move. And always remember, Cole,
if your dreams don't scare you, then they simply are not big enough.
We want y'all to dream big and do bigger. And Cheyenne, I'm on the way. I love y'all. We love y'all. We'll see you Monday. We're out of here.
And remember, that sheriff is a Nick!
Ding, ding, ding.
Thank you for tuning in to Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson, the hottest of hot takes and the coldest of cold, hard facts.